New subscription received. Dispensing gratitude. Gratitude dispensed. Attention, we are being followed. Shall I dispatch the welcoming drones? Attention, we are being followed. Shall I dispatch the welcoming drones?
I just realized I was muted that entire time. Well, thank you, Lemon, for that 3 months of subbage. Thank you, Pokemon Slayer and K-Beats for follows. And now let's bring in our cast and crew. I hope they're here to introduce themselves. Hold on, that sound engineer. Can we? Holy!
Subscription received. Dispensing gratitude.
Thank you for the what do we call that?
That is a
Subscription received. Dispensing
blast of
gratitude.
subscriber.
Gratitude
Thank you,
dispensed.
Arctic Mouse.
Damn, that's a lot of
No,
people.
no.
Oh
Well,
no, anonymous subscription
Subscription
posted.
received. Dispensing gratitude. Gratitude dispensed.
Welcome, Arctic Mouse, Historic Blade, Evil Intent. Thank you for the resale, Pokemon Slayer. Welcome, and Constellation Squid.
Gratitude dispensed.
I didn't realize he was subscribed. You have all been sponsored by an anonymous gifter.
Yep.
Your box in your DMs.
Yes, I'm looking
Thank
at
you
it.
guys
My
for
memory may
that.
not serve me well. It has more holes than Swiss
Your
cheese.
contributions greatly go towards supporting this show, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you enjoy the show. We are wrapping up our season.
Warning. Currency of unknown origin.
I think we just
Our
started
first
a
time
hype train.
Thank you guys.
wow.
This is so
Wow.
great. Thank you.
We're being ascended to a new plane of existence over here.
Well, do you know what a hype train is?
No.
For those of you who don't know what a hype train is, this is a thing used by Twitch
Yep.
to help raise our
Shows awareness.
shows awareness. Yeah.
Yep.
And I am going to shamefully participate in this. Excuse me.
The chaos that has ensued.
The chaos is impossible.
Yep. So, thank you. Yes.
Warning. Currency of unknown origin.
There we go.
detected.
Yes, our AI is warning me that there is currency of unknown origin being detected. Thank you, everyone, for that. I wasn't expecting this to happen during this episode, but thank you so much, guys.
Cool.
Thank you. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all. You're all
Yeah.
so
A
wonderful.
deep bow for that.
Yeah.
Bow.
Oh my gosh, the train's still going.
Warning.
What, did we just hit 3?
Yes, we hit tier 3.
Oh my god!
Currency of
Thank you,
unknown
Lemon
origin
Quest, for the
detected.
569.
Aw, thank you.
Nice! Nice!
Oh, this is great.
Oh.
Thank you, guys. This is like too much.
I contribute, except I don't know how Twitch works.
Um,
I'm old.
so
You're not as old as I am, so...
yeah,
I'm not sure about that. I
There's
think
a-
we confirmed before that I'm older.
probably. We don't know.
Well, I have a birthday.
Oh, okay.
I have a
Tomorrow.
birthday. I'm like you.
Wait, your birthday's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Can
here's
we-
a happy birthday gift early.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yes.
That reminds me that my birthday is actually Feb 3rd. That's actually very
Yes.
close.
So, Dr. Vess, if
Practical.
if you are wanting to learn how to do the hype train thing or the bits, there's a little icon that looks like a little
Yes,
gemstone.
I hate to break this to you, Vess, and myself. My friend Lemon is definitely older than the both of us.
All right. Oh, here we go. I figured out the bits thing.
Yeah, and it does cost actual money, but that's up to you.
No, I mean, I'll do it.
Yeah. It is optional. It is not required.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, definitely that hype train is still
Okay.
trucking down down.
Thank you, Lemon. Welcome.
New subscription received.
Trinity.
Dispensing gratitude.
123. Zarender.
Gratitude dispensed.
Moisty delivery driver.
New subscription
Augie edit.
received.
Yeah.
Dispensing gratitude.
Paragon Land.
Gratitude dispensed.
Thank you. You have all been sponsored by my very good friend, our very good friend, Lemon Twist.
This is like a great lead up to our what's going to be happening today on
Gratitude dispensed.
our show,
Cool.
Realms of Awakened Essence, and I just love the amount of support for this show. We've been running this show for 2 years, and I just love everyone. Thank you so much.
I echo that.
And
Oh,
this,
I third that.
yep, and all your
I
support
agree.
will go towards helping make
That-
season 9/campaign 2 in March be even better. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
for that.
thank you very much. I love you all, and shall we shall we get started?
I'll
Yes.
give him a high five if I could.
Being introduced.
Yes.
Yes, let's do that. Yes.
Let's start with, let's see, the fight.
What are your choices? I'll get it.
That sweet, sweet Azamar over there.
Yeah, that's sweet Asmore.
Hello, everybody. I am Magnarim, and I play the new and improved Mugi, the over-the-top and beautiful Azamar for whatever reason.
Warning.
Thank you guys personally. Thank you guys for the wonderful donations you just dropped on our heads. What if I did that right at the top of the stream? I play Leilana as well. I also play a few of the god/demigod characters where relevant, and I also play a few otherworldly voices as well that might be making an appearance at some point, but that's a teaser for that. I want
Ooh.
to pass it off to, let's see, that goofy little dwarf over there.
Hey, watch it. I gave you those nice swords. I can always take them back. Just kidding. Hi, I am Dracathio Vergath, your dwarf captain / engineer. Definitely not a werewolf.
Definitely
sure?
not. There's all the hair everywhere. Don't worry about it.
Certainly isn't Mugi's hair.
Oh no.
Who's shedding?
Whatever you do, don't mention the vet. And without further ado, I'm played by Pia Kiniyose, aka RT Studios, your production dwarf engineer, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to be passing it off to... Oh, thank you for the inspiration point. I don't know... Oh, thank you, Eva, for the inspiration point. I'll be adding that to my repertoire for today's game. And without further ado, Doctor, what is your price?
Because you'll need it.
Yes, Doctor, what is your Doctor, what is your prognosis of the stream right now? I believe it's
Doctor!
under cardiac arrest.
Oh, yes. I am Chris, otherwise known as Pi3, and I will be playing Dr. Vess, attending kobold physician
At law.
at law. LLC.
Can't forget the law part. That's what makes it official.
Yes, and
Sure.
what is your diagnosis
joke
of the
is
stream
nothing
today?
Oh, sorry, what?
What is your diagnosis of the stream today?
My diagnosis is it is extremely healthy considering what happened at the start of it.
Did you give it a
We're in
dose?
high spirits. We got real life inspiration points.
Yes.
Hello, I believe the stream needs a shot of adrenaline. Oh wait, I already got one. Ready 2.0,
Ready,
where are you?
down.
The passes its checkup just fine. Speaking of passing, I will pass the ball up to the Dragonborn.
Don't throw the mic too hard.
Sorry.
I told you to duck.
I need to.
This is why we need lavaliers, guys. I've been telling the production team we need lavaliers, not these hand mics. I mean, like, this thing is really, really annoying.
That hit in an unperformable spot of my body. But anyways,
Oh my gosh! I got a new one.
The hype train level 3 has been completed. Thank you guys
has
so
been
much.
Oh,
Wow,
that is-
guys, they are awesome.
Yes, that's what the If you do a hype train, you get little emotes, and this time it's cute little animals. And I'll be happy to show that off to a certain person tomorrow. I think Lelman knows who I'm talking about.
I'm gonna give everyone a clap. Very good.
Yep. So.
Oh, you got the owl. That's cool.
Yeah, I've got the owl. That's a fun one. Thank you. So yeah, let's keep going.
This momentum going.
Yep.
But yeah, hello. I'm Oldwin, but also Hard, also Dark. You know, I control like 3 characters, but 2 more than a. Well, yeah. But anyways, I'm Gearbox. I control the funny 2 Dragonborn brothers. And yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Just yeah.
Yep.
Either way.
And
I think that's everyone. We pass it to the last person. That's the DM.
Oh, me?
Yes, here, I'll throw the mic you, but as soft as I can. Yeet.
Got it. Thank you. I am
Yeet
your
the microphone.
I am your wonderful, wonderful storyteller, Trisha Welsh. I also play Aya. I play a multiple of other NPCs. I manage this wonderful, crazy circus of friends. And,
And lemon.
Lemon. Oh.
hey, he's a friend. He's a friend.
I regretted my decision in life. I need some sugar. I need to make lemonade. Just kidding.
no
Why
lemons
don't
were
you use
harmed.
watermelon sugar?
Yeah, no lemons were harmed during the making of this production.
Fine, I'll eat
Ian
limes.
Johnson quote jump in my head, but I'm not going to do it right now.
Don't. So,
Who wants to read the episode recap?
I do.
go for it.
After the Realms of Awakened Essence, Season 8, Episode 14, The Fight for Their Lives. After the group cleared out the lower section, the Red Dragon asked the group what they want in reward. Moogie asked for the crystal, Drac asked for 6 platinum for a project that wants to work on, Vess asked for a written agreement for the city that grew up around the volcano, and Rags asked for air support. The dragon agrees to this. He hands the crystal to Moogie, the money to Drac, and an ascending stone, and signs the contract. The group leaves, and they are accosted by Amy, who taunts them. When they get to the ship, Moogie questions his loyalty to his sister. Gabrielle gives Moogie a stern talking to about love. Drac comes back out and tells the two of them to come back to the ship as he has a surprise for them. When Moogie and Gabrielle come back, Drac shows them a wonderful feast to soothe their nervousness from the upcoming battle. Drac also gives Moogie a couple of heavenly blessed swords called the Blades of Pure Hope. Moogie accepts this gift, and ship silently flies towards Anthem. What will they encounter when they arrive here? Find out on today's Realms of Awakened Essence.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after the open intro. Stay tuned.
edge of the world. Battles all around us like flowers unfurled. One body, one mind, fighting for that last moment in time. We are heroes pushing back against the dark, making way for a brand new start. Here in these realms where the essence grows, making a new path for the light as it grows. Whatever the struggle, together we fight. Stand up to fight now, it is to our time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Realms of Awakened Essence, Season 8, Episode 14. Well, we're in for a fight of our lives.
Oh dear.
Let's hope it's not too bad.
Oh,
It's probably
Oh,
not that bad.
So while your ship is flying towards Anthem,
Mhm.
what are all of you doing?
I think we're still sitting around the dinner table
Yeah.
talking and laughing about stuff while a certain pixie is passed out in a cup because of the yogurt.
Right.
Yes. And also Oldwin, as I remember, is also playing some music. To lighten the mood up more.
yeah, the dwarf has walked over to the wall and kind of like dimmed the lights for like, mood setting.
Yeah.
Or we
Um,
get to do something he hasn't done in a while, and that's play his instrument. For like non-aggressive need.
I am going to I'm going to start this with some secret rolls.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Ooh.
not very.
If I know
secret when
anything
you
about
say
secret
that.
roles, is she's fixing to do something, and it's not going to be good.
You know what they all say? All toast is toast, toast. You know what they all say? All secret roles are bad.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, that's pretty concerning, Mario. Anyways.
I just said something to you, Kenny.
Quote.
Okay, so you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful time, um, laughing, giggling, the whole 9 yards. Just not a care in the world because you guys are all in the back, just yeah. So is there anything you want to do or say or in this particular moment?
Actually, I would.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Alduin, do you
Yeah.
mind if I borrow your loot for a moment?
Hmm? Well, I guess just don't break it. It's a
I'm
gift
not
from
going to
Alex.
break it.
He
Let's
hands it over to
see.
you.
I
Trish,
am going to roll a performance check.
Nice. Also, when you grab it, it does give you a little tiny zip zap.
All
The-
right,
The strings are
yay!
still electrified.
Okay, I rolled a 20 and my performance is +3.
Nice.
Nice.
That was awesome. I like that roll.
by the way, the roll that I made was an 18.
Okay.
So I am now playing, I guess, a Serenade of Old. I
Ooh.
guess.
Okay.
Something calming and soothing, but kind of loud.
It does take you a moment to get used to the instrument's feeling because every time you pluck a string, a little bit of electricity forms around the string. So it gives you can feel a little static.
A little
Sure.
buzz.
Yeah.
So what kind of effect is this having on people?
Well, what exactly are you playing?
A melody of old, something that's soothing and relaxing, but it's kind of loud, so it's not quite relaxing at the same time.
It's
It's
like
in
a
concept
it's a
relaxing.
lullaby, but like from old anthem, but like it's being played at too high an octave.
Yeah. Anyways, it's on a lute that sometimes makes a bit of a electric guitar noise, judging by the.
Well, yeah, okay. I can see that.
It doesn't help making it any amount soothing when you hear like a guitar going. Boom, boom.
Excuse me.
It sounds good.
It does. Um, you all are kind of getting this warm, fuzzy uh feeling all over yourselves. It's very calming. All the nervousness that you had even before you walked into this wonderful meal that Drac has made for you. Um, uh, it's kind of all melting away. You all feel very relaxed, like you are going to get ready for whatever's going to come ahead.
Aldwin just kind of just goes, "Damn, I didn't know you knew how to play.
I didn't know either.
Nice."
I guess this new form has a lot of great perks I've not learned yet.
Huh. Well, that's
By the way, the pixie is still sleeping. Rags kind of you kind of see her just kind of resettling in her chair and just kind of.
I think you're
There's
gonna.
just bubbles as the pixie's still face down in the thing and just slowly sinks a couple
yeah.
more inches into the yogurt.
I think you're making her more sleepy, even if it's a bit of a guitar.
So what do other people feel when this is going on?
Dracathir just kind of like he's kind of like
I
sitting in his
suppose-
chair and he's kind of like curled up, kind of just kind of like he's curled up and he's about to fall asleep
Okay.
because he's like the musical tones are reminding him of his home world where he's headed to, and you know all that. So
Nice.
I'm gonna make a deception roll for Vess.
Okay, go for it.
That's cool. As far as with respect to 25.
Damn.
Vest looks like he is entirely carefree and relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Not true.
Hang
Absolutely not true.
on.
He
Hang
is-
on. Well, you just did a deception check. Does anybody want to do an insight check on
Fair
this?
enough.
Actually,
Um,
I do.
Okay,
Yeah,
go
no,
You're
go
for
not
for
it.
gonna
it.
like this because I have high insight.
I'd be that'd be pretty cool if you actually beat a high roll like this.
Also, quick question: does this
I
count?
didn't beat a high
Yeah.
roll. I
There's
rolled low. 8 plus 6.
Do we get any health back, like a short rest or long rest?
I will take care of that. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
Only if I had rolled a 20, I would have beaten you.
That's
I would have beaten you by 1 point.
Where did Kitty go?
I'm here. I'm just
Oh, okay.
I was checking something. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so yep. Mookie, you don't notice anything unusual about this.
That he's fast.
Other than he's fast. Give me a second. I have a few people. Let's see. Oh, well, not Aya. Aya's not going to notice that. And neither Shazon.
Someone has to notice it, at least. Someone.
And not Rags. I am not going to do that to Rags.
I can make Aldwin. fuck? As he has the best role I can
Well,
find.
Alduin is
here.
not occupied with anything right now, so he technically could.
True.
So Alduin, if you want to maybe do an insight check on Vess.
Watch him land at me like, "You look suspicious."
You look what some people would call us. Duh, 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 duh. Dramatic music kicks on.
Mm,
Anyways, roll me that d20 with that funny little +6 that I have in my. A 20! Okay, then a dirty 20 because it's a 14 plus 6, but still. A 20 nonetheless.
and you had a 23, Vess?
Oh, 25.
5.
25.
I think.
Yeah, you don't. Nope.
Damn.
This
Okay.
is the one thing. Vess is better at this than he is at medicine.
Just a bit.
Now combine the two for deceptive medicine.
I know, right?
Give somebody the wrong dose, it ended their life.
Holy nutsides. Okay.
I keep forgetting the highest stats that I have is performance and intimidation with a +16 on both.
Ironically, my highest basic stat is
Mm.
athletics with a +12.
Okay. Ah!
Drac is falling asleep, and
Oh.
then
Hold on, we lost somebody. What happened?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Ah.
It was someone that wasn't able to talk in our
Oh.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they were just listening in.
Yes.
Yeah. Drac is falling asleep, and I'll let you drive.
Thank you. About that time, as all of you are feeling nice and well and comfortable, I want everybody except Vess. You're doing something.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I want everybody except Vess to roll me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, old one. You rolled
I rolled
pretty
a
high before.
13.
Damn.
Okay.
Okay, old one rolled a 25 this time.
Damn. Okay.
Like he's just popping off. But let me see. Oh no, his brother has like no perception ability. aka just he rolled a 10.
Let's see, and then got one more.
22 from Drac.
22 for Drake. Oh yeah, Drake's gonna notice this.
Yep.
As does Rags, and Aya.
All right. So
So-
what do
so-
they notice?
Okay, so what? Give me the numbers again. Who got what?
I got a 13.
13,
22.
22,
Old one got a 25.
25, but Hearth didn't.
Hearth got a 10.
Hearth got that. Okay.
By the way, I just want to note, just for scene setting, the
Mm.
window out overlooking the clouds and like the horizon
Oh,
line
yeah.
is still like you can still see out of it, so you can use
Yes.
that.
This is what you all hear. Well, not all of you. This is all the people who got better than a 20.
Mhm.
Which, yeah. Those people hear a very distant beeping somewhere on the ship.
Old just listening to the music and all of a sudden hears that.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, do you hear anything?
Cathius like looks down at his wrist and he's like, "Oh crud." Computer
What?
status. The current status of the ship is normal. We were recently attacked by an unseen entity. Shields are holding. Minor structural damage detected.
Rags immediately perks up. I don't think that's normal.
Old one turns to Moogie. I think I'm gonna have to take that back.
I think you're right. Here.
Okay.
And you see Rags immediately get off her chair and run towards the bridge.
Moogie follows Rags.
Captain
Yeah, let's
He's
go.
on her heels.
Drac gets up and
Did-
says, "Computer, initiate defensive protocol, Draco 6."
Hearth stands up. I imagine this was not gonna go too well.
And it is at this moment all the lights in the ship turn to yellow.
Yeah. Aeon kind of looks at Hearth. No, it's not. Come on, let's. Something has done something to
And
the ship. Come on.
before Drac gets up, he stops, turns around, walks back over to the table, and picks up the tiny little pixie out of the yogurt, shakes it violently, and says, "Wake up!" And then sets him on her shoulder, sets him on my shoulders, sets her on my shoulder, and says, "We have a situation. You might want to be awake for this." And he runs to the bridge with Gabrielle floating on his shoulder.
Okay.
Quick question. Did Vess finish what he was doing?
You said, well, you texted that to me. I give you
There may not have been enough time.
I am so sorry, Vess.
Oh, fair enough.
That's the reason why I didn't give you
Fair. Oh, so what happens then? I think Vess gets up and he's like, "Damn!" And he like puts he was holding the ritual book under the table. He tucks it into his coat and then leaves the mess hall.
Are you? Yeah, you will be the last one to leave the mess hall.
Fair enough.
Everybody else, yeah.
As Vess is doing that, and Tricathio and the rest of the party are making their way to the bridge, you hear over the PA, "Attention, we are now entering Anthem-controlled space."
Oh no. I don't know why, but I feel a horrible terror radius about that. I should probably feel that.
Oddly enough, for all people who are walking into the bridge, all of you roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Yes.
Rolled a 10.
God, you're not gonna like this.
I
Okay.
figured as much.
Hearth managed to roll a 15.
You're fine.
That's an 11 from Drac.
You're.
Oh no,
Well,
Oldwin
bad.
rolled a 10. No.
Give me a second. I have to go back and look. Wait a minute. What did Hearth have?
Hearth rolled a 15.
Okay, no, he's not fine.
Oh. I'm hoping it's one of the few statuses that I think it is because he has defenses against it. Because Hearth has the magical defense against charmed, disease, frightened.
Okay, well, yes, this. I will say this.
Mhm.
Despite your low roll, we'll deal with that in a minute.
Okay.
Is that everybody? Who rolled what?
I rolled an
Sorry.
I
11.
rolled a 13.
13.
No, I rolled a 10, sorry.
10. I had two 10s,
And an 11.
an
12.
11, 12, and a 15. And let's see here. I think two of mine are not. Yeah. Oh, Rex is fine. Rex is the only other one that's not frightened.
Ah, yes.
Oh dear, it's a frightened situation.
Yeah, what you all see outside the view screen is a humongous dragon made up of stars.
Oh.
And all of you who did not make your saving throw, you are now frightened for 1 minute.
Meanwhile, you just hear beep, 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 beep. Warning, proximity alert. Warning, proximity alert. Collision imminent. Collision imminent.
Yeah, Hearth.
Mhm.
You're not frightened by this thing. It's you look at it and go, yep.
Damn. That's big.
That's big. And the thing is going to come and yes, it's going to make 3 attacks on you.
Well, on the ship.
On the ship.
Yep.
2 claw attacks and a bite.
Roger.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Vess,
Yep.
you have that sending stone in your pocket, yes?
Oh,
No,
yes.
no,
No?
you weren't the one that was given
No,
it.
somebody else has it.
Someone
yeah.
else has it.
Who has that sending stone?
I think Tricathia might have it. But right now he's like cowering behind his captain's chair.
What is the AC of the ship?
The AC of the ship is 21.
Ooh, okay. One of the claws is not going to hit. You got 1 claw and 1 bite. That is... God. Now I'm gonna... now I'm gonna add.
Yep. And that combined damage will be to the shields.
Yep.
Unless it has an ability called Puncture, which basically
No,
can breach the shields.
this thing doesn't have... Well, I mean, piercing is piercing, but
Yeah,
yeah.
piercing, yeah. That's what I meant. Because piercing can go through ship shields.
The ship takes 68 points of damage.
Warning. Structural integrity detected. Damage
And
detected.
and that is 23 points of piercing and 18 points of piercing.
Structural integrity weakness detected on deck 3.
That's a mean dragon.
It is a mean dragon.
Hearth looking in front
As you
of
just hear
everyone's
kind of
head.
like as you just hear like down below just like the sound of wind as the glass on the front of the ship where the dinner was being held has now blown out and all the food's being sucked out.
No, we ate most of it anyways, but no.
So yeah, what do you guys do? There's this humongous drake that looks like it's made up of the stars. In front of
Tricathio
you.
is not willing to be in command right now because he's cowering behind his chair still.
Who wants to go
What-
first?
What would I have to roll to break this sphere?
You would have to roll again on
Like another
your...
wisdom?
Yep.
Okay. Would I roll another wisdom to
But that is at the that is at the end of your turn.
Yeah. Well, nobody's gone yet, so
No.
But you're subject to the frighten effect for a turn, and then you can make a save to end it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Which I think is in this context is going to be disadvantage on attack rolls.
Well, it means the frightened condition. And hang on, I've got to go look it up. Give me a second.
I have a handy sheet that I can have on my side.
I want to know what a frightened Moogie looks like. Come on.
Frightened. There we go. Oh, come on. Pop up. There we go. Frightened. A frightened creature has disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within line of sight. The creature cannot willingly move closer to the source of its fear.
Wait on, I just realized Tricathio could make a normal check because he's hiding behind his captain's chair.
That's true. If you get out of line of sight, then
Just don't look at it.
His back is to it. He's hiding behind his chair, so I don't know
Yeah.
how you want to rule that.
Well, hang on. 6 seconds go by, Moogie. If you want to roll another check, you may. That is not the right button. Oh, the dice god's not happy with you.
No, they're not. I just rolled a 9.
Question: can the DM roll a d6 for me, please? Just a flat d6.
4.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a message.
Alright.
Arthur's trying to figure out what to do. He's looking at everyone panicking, looking at the big ass dragon, going, "How?"
Rags is kind of looking at it too, going, weapons. Do we have weapons on this ship?
I believe so, but I don't fully remember. He says while we're running over to like a side of the ship and going, "Big button. Where's the big button? Did he move the big button? Find the big red button."
Vess has an idea.
Vess is also frightened, so, you know.
He's frightened, but I have an idea for if I can attempt something or do something simple.
I don't know what any of these buttons do.
Dracathio's just like doing the like back and forth fetal position.
Okay, who wants to be next to try to roll out of this?
Track will, if that's okay with everyone.
No, that's cool. Yeah, he's
Okay.
captain.
Yep. So let
Okay,
me just
so-
roll. Hold on.
Yep.
I have to scroll back down to here. Give me a moment. Okay. $, check. No, it's a save, right?
Yeah,
Save.
it's a save.
Wisdom. That's an 18.
You hit it. You are no longer frightened.
He gets up and says, "Computer, command override. Initiate protocol. Track 11071. Defense protocol Alpha 1." The
And then when-
lights switch to red, and you just
You hear the ship's computer. Confirmed.
And that's when the big red button shows up.
it just slides slowly up out of the panel.
That's where the big button is. You have to push. You have to put a command in. Really, Joker? Damn it! Big button.
Anybody else wants to try to roll out of this?
Oldwin is slowly backing away and hyperventilating.
Well, do you want to roll?
Yes, but he's probably not going to do the best because his wisdom ain't that good.
Yeah,
he
I
rolled
know.
a 10 again.
He rolled a what?
A 10.
10? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
he is still frightened. Veth?
Oh, I'll give it a shot. Let's see. Oh, damn. All right. 23.
You are no longer frightened.
That's
By the way, Gabrielle was given very interesting. She's a fae. She can't be frightened.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, she's also your familiar. So, let's see.
Yeah. I'm okay. So Vess kind of regains his composure. He's gonna go over to like the communications sensors panel, and he's gonna turn off the view screen.
Okay.
Well, we can't see anything.
Then he's gonna say, "Oh, that's better. I can pretend for a moment like it's not out there."
Hearth. What do you do since now your turn?
He like sits down in the chair to the big red button and goes, "If I remember how to do this when I was a hand, big red button, go!" He says, "We'll push," slamming the button with his fist.
Defense protocol activated. Now
Sorry about
firing
that.
quantum missiles.
Big gun! He says, while doing like a fist pump in air.
Okay. What is the okay, this is the big gun. What is its
Its attack is 2d12.
No.
Oh.
Do you have to roll to see if you can hit it?
Oh yeah.
And because you closed the
Your screen, it's at disadvantage, so it's
it's at disadvantage.
Well, I imagine it has
so
a tiny little
it's-
viewing screen.
It's basically like a targeting like crosshair thing with no visual. It just shows a dot. It's like a radar.
Hearth goes, "I can't see what I'm shooting at!"
There's two dots actually. There's one that's Anthem, and then there's one that's the target.
I'm just gonna roll to
One.
Oh no, not disadvantage. I rolled a 16 and a 13. And my disadvantage claims I must pick the 13.
Fair.
13 plus what?
13 plus 6 because this is the big gun.
So add that together.
Yep.
Plus 6.
Yes.
Yep.
13 plus 6 is what?
19.
You hit its armor's class.
Nice.
What is it? Now roll the damage. What's the damage?
The damage is 2d12.
Okay. Go and get 2, 12. Go! 19.
19.
Yes.
You just
Go
hear
fire.
the loud shudder.
Okay. By the way, what kind of damage is this?
This is celestial damage.
Is it radiant damage?
It is radiant, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it acts like piercing because it's like piercing radiant. So,
Okay.
because it's a projectile, it's like basically a gauze cannon.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have like half piercing, half radiant.
Yeah.
Hearth does shout, I need the visuals back on! I
you
think
said
I hit it, but I
half
can't
it-
see it.
Yeah. Hearth, you hit it straight on. You see it does damage, and then as soon as you see that damage, it goes away.
Cathio's now getting into his captain's chair and typing some commands on the seat controls.
It is now Aya's turn, which she is frightened, so I've got to. That is a 1. She's still frightened. With a grand
Oh,
old
jeez.
2. Yeah. So she is still frightened. Shazon.
You would think Shazon, being part dragon herself, would have some advantages.
Unfortunately, she does not. Let's see here. Oof. Yeah, she's and Shazon is also frightened. It's now Rags' turn. Okay, well, she turns to Drac. Drac, is there another gun on this ship other than that big one?
He throws up like command controls over to you on your panel, kind of like just a hologram just flows over, and he says, "We have the Anthem Ascender missiles. They're basically magic missiles, but like max level."
Bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, max level. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's done some upgrades while we were in maintenance.
And the crystal and whatnot.
Yep. But it draws a lot of power for the crystal, so. Yep.
Okay, let's see here. 9th magic missile. Damn. Okay. So Rags goes right. And she hits the button. Now this is 8 magic missiles. 1d4 plus 1, right?
Correct.
I've got that right.
Yep.
Alright.
And the computer says, Anthem strike missiles deployed.
Well, I'm going to take that particular number, which was a 4, which is the best I can do, add the plus 1, times that by 8, that is 40 points of damage. And if I remember correctly, magic missile is force damage, isn't it?
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
Yes,
Force.
it's force. Yeah.
Has it been one round yet or not yet?
Yes. And it's now the dragon's turn again.
Warning. Impact in 300 meters. Says the computer.
Most everybody succeeded from their saving throws, so you can't be affected anymore. The dragon is going to now still do 2 claw attacks and a bite attack against the ship.
Keep in mind that's at disadvantage because the ship is at in defense protocol.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And what is its AC?
AC is 21 for the ship.
Let's see. Okay. The bite does not hit.
Okay.
One of the claws does not hit. But one claw hit, so that is 34 points damage. 23 of that is piercing.
Warning. Hull breach detected in sickbay. Venting atmosphere.
And that is it. Go. Moogie, it is now your turn.
So we've shaken off the fear.
You no, you have not.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to roll again.
Yep.
Just movies silently.
That was a 17.
You didn't make it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, damn it!
By the way, shields are offline.
Yep, shields are offline.
It's just movies silently panicking in the background.
He's breathing really heavy right now.
Yep. Yes, he is. Drac, it is now your turn.
Computer, manual flight controls. Authorization, Draco 1, 4421. And this little
Confirmed.
column comes up out of the, like the floor with like a joystick, like basically like a flight stick. And he's gonna be piloting the ship now manually. Because basically he wants to try and avoid all the stuff, so. How would a, advanced maneuver work?
Wouldn't that be off athletics since you're controlling the ship?
I'll let the GM determine that.
What did you? What?
Basically,
what?
he's manually flying the ship. So would it be athletics or would it be acrobatics?
Yeah, it would be athletics.
Okay. All right. So then let me do the athletics score for the ship. Since it is a poorly designed ship, it's not that acrobatic or athletic. Come on. 16. 16 for the ship.
What are you planning on doing with said ship?
Basically, he's gonna do a spiraled up. Basically, he's gonna try and do it's basically like a swoop in attack, but it's basically a feint move. So he's feinting the enemy. So he's gonna swoop in close, spiral like he's taking a nosedive, and then come back around the back end of
Alright.
them and fire the weapon, and then say to command basically whoever's next in line, fire the main weapon.
All right. Yes, you could do that.
All right.
But you doing that with the ship takes up your entire action and movement. Okay.
That's fair. Yep.
Okay. Alduin.
You just heard the captain say,
panicking.
"Fire again."
Yeah. Alduin, I think you're still under the effects of the frighten, right?
Yes, he's panicking.
Roll.
Roll. Okay, I'm gonna roll straight up because again he has no wisdom. He has a 12 now.
Really?
He's not gonna get out of this. He has a 0 in his wisdom.
All right. Yeah. He's still frightened. That is now your turn.
Yes. Okay. I guess I'll fire the weapon.
Go for it.
What do I roll? Should I just roll like as if I'm attacking with Eldritch Blast? Is that good enough? Or kind of an Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, I mean, it would act like an Eldritch Blast, but
Or I guess my crossbow. I can do
Yeah.
my hit from my crossbow because that's dex based.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Do
probably
it for that.
appropriate.
Yep.
All right, cool. I don't think I've ever actually used that crossbow.
I don't think you have either.
I didn't even know you had a crossbow.
My to hit roll was a 21.
Nice. Let me just go back. 21, did you say?
Yep.
You hit?
Roll 2d12.
Okay. Total of 11.
11. And what kind of damage is that?
That is Radiant Piercing.
Again with the radiant piercing.
Yep.
Alright, that you see on your little screen that it hit,
Yay!
but you also see on your screen that it didn't do any damage.
I'll turn and I'll say, we need to. Do we have any other weapon systems? That weapon is ineffective against the creature.
The captain looks over and says, "Well, if I had them, which we don't, I would have fired the missile things that were stolen, but we don't have those." And he's like scrolling frantically through a list. Try these. He pushes a button,
Yes.
and he says,
Okay, well, you two are having this conversation.
Yep.
Tarth, it is now your turn.
He's like, God damn it. I don't think this gun's very effective either. Big damage, but it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. I could try again.
Try again.
He also like smacks his screen a little bit until he actually gets a vision of what's going on.
Pat, 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 pat.
Better. Roll.
Go for it. Go for it.
Okay. Okay. I see how it is. Tablet. I see how it's a dice roller. I go to roll dice. Okay. I got it. There's no reason to go wrong. And an 8.
Yeah, you didn't hit.
When you
The
try
shot went wild.
When you try your best but you don't succeed.
Yep.
Not even a 13.
"There we go." Vess, I sent you something in player planning.
Yeah, sorry, I have do not disturb on so that I don't have my ads going.
Okay. So there. Let's see. Who's next? That was hard. It's Aya's turn. I still believe she's still frightened. Let's see here. Well, this is not her best roll. She's still frightened. It's Shazon's turn. Shazon. Let's see. That is. Shazon is no longer frightened. Shazon comes out of it and goes, right.
Meanwhile, Drac is like still scrolling through the list, and he's like, where is it? I had them."
It is now Rags' turn. Rags kind of turns around and looks at Drac. We need to do something.
His finger stops and he says, "Try the Hellfire Strikes." There's
Hellfire Strikes.
six missiles, fireballs, mid-level.
Okay, so what do I have to... if it's a fireball...
Well, there's up to six fireballs that you can shoot. That's how much ammo is in the tubes.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And they are mid-level. weapons.
Give me a second.
These are like the secondary weapons.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Let's see. Ooh. Okay. And I'm basing this off of Aya's fireball.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that he fails. And you said that this was mid-level,
Yes.
like mid-level what?
Mid-level spell.
I know that. 5, 6, or 7.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of dice.
Most often it is.
That is a lot of dice. Okay.
And you said he failed a check?
Yep. He takes all of it.
The ship takes all of it.
What do you mean the ship takes all of it?
Because there's...
The dragon, I think she means.
Oh, okay.
The dragon failed its check.
My bad. I'm like, he failed to meet the check, is what I thought he meant.
No.
Sorry. The attack check. Sorry. Carry on.
Thank you. Oh, wait. I think that's the way I do it. Yes. Okay. And that's fire damage. You see the missile go out. And it hit. About that time, I want... Well, actually, someone roll for the ship's perception check. That could be anybody.
I have 0 in my perception, so I'll let somebody else roll, and I'm
He's somebody good at it.
Who was on
Give
sensors?
me no good.
Who was on sensors?
Yeah, I know.
Who was initially
I
on sensors? Because
Who is on sensors?
I remember
Sensors.
someone was running towards sensors or did something
Vess
else.
was there briefly, but I think he moved to weapons to fire the weapon.
Okay, so then Drac will take command override.
All right.
Sensors offline.
Okay. All right. So you guys won't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to roll the dice anyway. Actually, holy nut toy! That is a lot of dice. The dragon doesn't know that this particular person is coming. Plus 5 is 8. And yes, I am rolling a lot of dice.
Mhm.
15, 20, 25, 30. 30. uh, 38 points of damage.
38 or 78?
38.
38. Okay, I was about to say.
This is completely piercing damage to whatever it is outside. You
Got
guys do not know what's going on.
And this is towards the ship, right?
No, this was towards the thing that you were fighting.
Got it. Got it.
So something attacked the dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Something.
Attack the dragon.
Yay.
But you guys don't know what it is because you did poorly
Because
on the. Yeah.
The
Because well,
sensors have
also the shield is closed too.
Well, the shield is closed. The sensors are offline, so we don't have any external knowledge of what's happening out on the battlefield
Yeah.
because the
That's true.
sensors were damaged by the fight.
Yep. And that's that person.
Well, then that's that mysterious fellow.
How many rounds
You're
have
up
passed?
to you were 3. At 3.
Warning: impact at 1,000 meters.
Hmm.
Divert, divert, divert.
And it's the things. Oh, this is going to be interesting. It is going to turn around. Let's see. Yep. Ooh. Let's see here. Let's see, that's 24, 19, 30. Damn. And it all hit.
To what is it hitting?
You don't know what's going on.
Fair. Just let me know if it's hitting the ship or not.
Yeah, I will tell you if it's hitting the ship or not.
Got it. I'm tracking the ship's damage.
Yes, I know you're tracking the ship's thingy.
Funny little numbers.
Oh yeah, funny little numbers.
Lots
so
of funny little numbers.
There's so many.
Woo! Well, that was a hit. Hmm. Okay. Let's see here. That was a dragon. Moogie, it is your turn.
I'm gonna roll to break out of it. Let's hope the dice gods are nice to me. Do I have an advantage because the shield is closed and I can no longer see the thing?
I will say for this one time, you do have advantage.
Okay. I rolled another 17 total for the effort because I rolled a 3 and a 17, so I'll take the 17. Damn it!
Wait, but what is your? Do you have something on your wisdom?
I have a +0 in my wisdom.
Okay.
Question: can I donate an inspiration point to let him reroll?
No.
Okay, fair.
You're still kind of cowering in the corner, Moogie.
Yep, unfortunately.
And you hear in your head, Moogie, I am very surprised at you. Touch. And you're no longer frightened.
Who the? What was that?
You don't know. There's someone spoke in your head.
Mookie stands up from his cowering.
Yay!
It's kind of funny seeing an Asimar cower, yes.
So is
And
it-
that's yours because that's all you could do.
Yep.
Drac, it is now your turn.
Yep. Track is going to try and maneuver the ship away from whatever the obstacle is. He doesn't know where he's flying though, so he's just gonna pull up sharply.
Okay, so roll me another athletics.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, he pulls up. The stick is stuck because of the.
Yeah,
He's
you
like
hear
pulling
the,
back as hard as he can, and it just grind. You just hear grinding metal.
Well, actually, what you hear inside the thing
Bridge.
and inside the bridge. Warning, warning, warning. steering mechanisms failing.
Shit's broken, yo.
Yeah,
the
shit's broken,
and
y'all.
the Drac just snarls and he says, "Damn it, manual's down."
Alduin, it is now your turn.
Aldwin with your 0 and wisdom.
Hmm.
My man's got no wisdom.
Just roll.
I know. Roll. Now it's
It-
worse. It's
How
a
fast
5.
is the ship supposed to be moving?
The ship can
Uh,
move 60 feet every turn, max speed.
Well, right now it's not moving very fast because
No, it's moving about 25.
Okay,
feet.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So what did Alduin? Alduin.
What did Aldwin roll?
Yeah.
A 5.
You are still frightened. I am so sorry. I cannot help you.
I have an idea for helping him.
All right. And oddly enough, you're next.
So first things first, Vess is gonna glance over at Alduin, and then over his link to Gabrielle, he's gonna say, "Go over and help him." So I want to aid his next saving throw.
All right.
I don't know if that takes my action or if I still get it if that's on
That,
Gabrielle.
I would consider that a bonus action. Ordering
That's-
Gabrielle
okay,
to,
cool.
yeah.
Bonus action to get the familiar over, so I still have an action.
Yes, you still have
Um,
an action.
We still have fireballs left, don't we?
Yes, you do.
We have 5 more.
I will hit the fire control.
Okay, roll.
Let's see. Oh, let me get to the right channel.
Remember, these are 7th level.
Yep.
I hit a 21. I believe that was again.
Well, no, actually, they have to roll because it's a
Oh right,
fireball.
it's a fireball. So
Yeah, it's a fireball.
It's homing.
Yeah, it's homing. Wow, just
It's
kind
like a
of.
firework. It explodes in the air. It's like anti-air weapons.
Yeah, it is a very effective anti-air weapon.
They're one of those weapons that just explode in air.
Vess used Hellfire Torpedo on the Celestial Dragon. It is very effective.
It is very.
Except it isn't.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's a 25. Oh, it's more than the thing on there. Actually, he takes half damage. So roll for fireball at 7th level is ridiculous. Oops, I was rolling it at 8th. That is 12d6.
Oh, you want me to roll that?
The subpar.
Yeah, I'll roll that.
Oh, sorry. Well, either way.
Well, oh no, you got it.
Okay.
Wow. And
Yeah,
that's
damn.
and that
That's
half
wild.
that is
Wow.
27. Still hurts like a The thing is still up. You can't see what's going on outside, so. Hearth, it is your turn.
Just like, damn it, I don't think these guns are gonna work anymore. Click, click, click.
What do you do?
Him thinking, what's the most Jurassic thing I can do now?
Just a suggestion, you don't have to. The ship has taken a lot of structural damage, and if it takes any more structural damage, we could have multiple hull breaches, and we might have to evacuate. Just letting you know. So
Do I
someone
look
might
like an engineer?
I'm just saying, someone needs to get on fixing.
I'm not fine. Sharth going fine. Going like,
Okay.
Drac just tosses the manual over his shoulder.
Here. Page 26.
Chapter 22,
funny.
line 3.
Yep. Okay.
I'll be back, or if I don't come back, I'll probably be dead.
It is now Aya's turn. And I'm just gonna roll for Aya and Shazon's because they both have the same number. And they're both still frightened.
Yeah.
Rags kind of eyes both of them and goes, "This isn't helping them. What else could we do? I'm at a loss. I don't know what's going on out there."
Drax
and-
like scrolling to the bottom of the list, and he says, "Oh, I forgot we had one of those."
What if
Click.
what?
Click. Vehicle construction initiated.
You're making a car?
No, I'm not. He says, "I'm making a fighter."
Close enough.
I'll take it.
Vehicle
And she
construction
does.
will be completed in 1 turn.
Oh yeah, if Aldwin,
Okay, yeah, okay, got it.
if Aldwin fails his roll again, I have an idea what to do if he fails again.
I also have an idea now that I'm no longer frightened.
Nice.
Drac,
Yes.
after you've pushed the button, you hear the intercom kind of goes.
Captain, incoming transmission.
What do you do?
Audio only.
You hear the through the speaker. Do you think that you could come and get me? I think this particular Drake is looking to signing me up for lunch.
This is who's speaking? This is Cathio Vergath of the ASS Ventura. ATS Ventura. ATS Ventura.
I am sorry. My name is Al Hoot.
Nice to meet you, Alhu. What's your current coordinates? Is he's like pulling up like the
I'm
basically
currently on top of said Drake.
Okay. We'll try to get to you as quickly as we can. Right now, our navigation systems are slightly damaged, and we have no external sensors, so we cannot see. We're flying blind.
Well,
If you could possibly, we're going to be sending out an assist vessel in a few moments. If you can try and hop onto that,
I will certainly try.
You're just like pushing a button, just like changing the fighter from like a 1-seater to a 2-seater very quietly.
Yep. Modifications detected. 1
Nice
additional
drag.
turn will be taken. It's only fair that if I'm gonna make
Yep.
modifications, is there's an extra turn added.
Yeah, I know. That is Al Hoot's turn. By the way, you don't have any idea what Al Hoot looks like.
Well, yeah, because he threw it up on audio only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he doesn't know he doesn't want to throw up it on visual because of people.
It's now the dragon's turn. The dragon, or rather, the creature outside, and you all can hear this. It is roaring. It is thrashing.
Can't see any of it, but we know it's happening.
You know what's happening. Well, you're now very close to this thing.
Warning: impact in 500 meters. Correction:
Actually,
50 meters.
there you go.
40 meters. 30
Boogie!
meters.
It is now your turn. The dragon can't do anything. That's what I'm saying.
Mookie is going to go up to deck 3 where there's the hull breach in that window.
Down to deck
And
3.
down to the 3 where the hull breach is in the dinner window. And he's going to allow himself to be sucked out the window.
By the way, there's a blast door sealing the compartment right now. So you're going to have to override the blast door.
Open the blast door! Open the blast door!
Open.
How do I override it?
Roll me a thieves tools.
Oh God. I don't have thieves tools.
Oh, sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
Oh, sleight of hand? Ugh.
Yes.
I rolled a 12 total. Are there any other windows that have not been blocked off yet?
Hold on. GM is talking. I think, are doing something.
That would actually be a cool image. Like Moogie just like smashing out one of the viewports.
Mookie, you're looking around and going, are you trying to get out?
Yes, he's trying to get out.
Alright.
You see off to your left an airlock.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a very good roll, and that's under the number that's normally, Yes. Mookie, as you're looking around, frantically trying to get out, you see what looks like a door. Well, not a door, but a portal. It's made out of blue. It has that kind of blue tint, and it leads outside. What do you do?
He leaps through it.
Of course he does. And as soon as you leap through it, it closes behind you.
Full wings spread.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now you see the creature. It is true. It is a dragon made out of stars and galaxies, and it's going. It's looking left. It's looking right. You see it.
okay. He's not concerned with the dragon.
What is he concerned about?
He is concerned with the ship, as he is going to fly underneath it, where the tip of the ship is, and he's going to push up against it.
Okay.
Oh, you're
So I
playing
need
a
to roll a
Superman.
strength roll for that.
You do need to roll a strength. Thank you.
And thank
Those
goodness I
wings
have
are
a high strength roll.
Yep.
Let's hope what
Yeah.
strength also goes in the wing.
Ooh! Oh, the dice gods love me! Let me add this up real quick. Hold on.
That's a big change.
I love it. I so love it.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is a 30.
You do this in spades.
Drax like pulling back on the stick. He's like, come on, move. And then the ship just
And
says,
all of a sudden
warning,
it
trajectory.
rapidly goes up.
Yep. Everyone roll a dex saving throw.
I am
thank you.
beating my wings faster than I've ever beat them before.
Look, Arth is not really in the scene at the moment, and Oldwin's probably already on his knees.
I'll be your
Oh.
Superman.
Okay. Poor Aya. She rolled a 1.
Again?
No.
Drac is
Mm.
pressed literally up against the back of his like captain's chair. He can't move.
Shazan had a 6.
I rolled a
Hard.
13. How did Vest do?
And Rags had a nat 20.
Dang.
Oh
Well,
my god.
Thankfully,
And
Rags
again,
managed.
her dex saving throw is like 11, so that's the 31.
Rags managed to find the seatbelt in time.
Uh-huh.
Hearth managed to roll a 21, even if not in scene.
dang. Vest only got a 13, so I don't know where that falls.
Well,
I'd say anyone who rolled under like a 15 were thrown. Anyone who
Fair
rolled
enough.
lower than a 5 were thrown and injured.
That's fair.
Yep.
okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Yep. So whoever rolled below a 5, roll 1d6 worth of bludgeoning damage.
Big ouch.
1d what?
6.
Oh well, that's just Aya. 1d6.
Yep.
5 points. Lovely. Thanks.
As you're like flat against like the doors of the doors to the bridge, they slide open as you, after you impact them. Now you're tumbling straight down towards the back of the ship as a little bot flies by, sees you, turns around, flies down, and Freddy Bot is going to roll a dexterity saving throw to try and catch you.
Trying to
dexterity.
catch Aya?
Yep.
Okay.
Save. Oh wait, no. It's special. He's just
By the
a
way, I
robot.
want to point out something for those who
13.
don't know that's watching the stream. Mugi is a very tiny individual as an Azamar, and he is pulling a rather large ship behind him up into the air. Just put that in perspective for you.
Yep, that's a 13 from.
Actually, I've seen it once before, so that does not surprise little old me.
Yep, that's a 13 from Freddy.
13?
Yep.
Well, I mean, this is Aya we're talking about here. Freddy is not completely successful in stopping her backward movement, but it hurts less.
Yeah. Caution, injury detected. Assisting. As she
Thank
floats
you.
down and, like, he floats down and just, like, pulls out a syringe and says, "Hold still, this will not hurt one bit." Jab.
Okay.
Ah!
Let me roll 3d6 for health. Regain that 13 damage.
Well, she only took six points of damage.
Yes. Sorry, 6 points of damage, so regain 13 hit
Yeah,
points.
Don't worry about it. You healed her back up to
Yeah.
full.
Yep.
Magically back to full.
And Freddy says,
Yep.
"Are there any more injured?"
I don't know. Try going to like the front of the ship and ask there.
On my way.
I'm
floats
going
up.
to go find. Yeah, I'm going to go find Hearth, and she goes and finds Hearth wherever Hearth is, and we'll deal with that in a minute. Drac, it is your turn.
Drac is basically like astonished that he's like gripping the wheel and he's like, "Okay."
By the way, this is the 4th round.
Alert, alert, alert. Impact warning detected. Impact in 5, 4, 3.
Oh.
And
The
what
numbers
happens?
stop. The like there's this long pause as I'm pulling on what Mugi was doing.
Mm-hmm.
The ship is now vertical, no longer on an impact trajectory with its target. It's going straight up. It's like straight up.
All right, that's fair.
Yep.
What are you doing, Drac?
Drac is trying to basically he's trying to use what he knows about coordinates to determine
Which
where
isn't a lot.
which isn't a lot, no, but he's trying to basically have the now finished shuttle or whatever that is, the fighter, deploy, but since the ship's moving so fast at an upward trajectory, the shuttle's stuck in the holding bay
Yeah.
and will not deploy.
And Rags is actually in the shuttle, so it's like, oh, come on.
Deploy sequence complete. Deploy sequence complete. Error. Error. Cannot deploy. Vertical G's detected.
How high have I drugged the ship up?
How
in its
high can you
position?
fly, dear?
40 feet a second.
Well, you mean 40 feet
Or
around?
40 feet around, yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
You're about 40 feet away from this dragon. From this drake.
Yep. From the sea level, we are about 1,700 kilometers up.
That's a full.
Yep. Yep. That's definitely a fall. But remember, we're in the air, so, yep. Have fun.
I guess Mugi should level the ship back out now.
I will say the atmosphere line for the planet of Pathea 3 is at 2,590 kilometers. So you're getting close. The air is thin up here. So what you gonna do?
Okay. Well, Mugi is going to level the ship out then.
All right. On your turn.
Yeah, on my turn.
Alduin.
Aldwin. Aldwin, my child. My first D&D son.
Roll.
He rolled a
Is it still for-
16 this time.
Hang on. It's gonna be a different person. Let's see. Alduin, as you're sitting there, scared, you're still frightened, and you hear a male voice in your head.
Ah.
It's familiar. It's Dark Matter.
Yay! I can do that. Yeah, that's what I imagined was gonna happen anyways. Yay! Fist bump. Anyways. But let me think real quick. Yeah. Wasn't fully ready for him, but also I wanted him to show up anyways, yeah.
It's going to be a brief message to Alduin to
Aldwin is
bolster up his courage.
All I hear is just yeah. Basically, it's along the lines of, what do you do on the floor, or buddy? Come on. Everyone knows you can do better. I believe in you. I think. I believe in you. Yeah. Like it sounds like he's talking to somebody off screen. For
You
a
just
moment.
hear one of the psychics say, like, it says in the script you're supposed to say yes.
Yes.
And just like that, the voice goes away, and Alduin, you're no longer scared. You're no longer frightened.
He's like on his knees. And he just he just staggers back up. I think I could do this. I think
But that's all you can do. I'm sorry.
yeah, of course.
And technically, you were supposed to get advantage on that roll because Gabrielle was over there.
Yeah.
True.
Vez, it is now your turn.
All right. So now that we're aware that Alhut is on the dragon, I'm assuming I'm putting him at risk if I fire the Hellfire at the dragon.
Just a bit, yes.
All right. I would like to try to get creative with my strategies.
Okay.
I want to switch back to the. I think it was like a railgun. I know it's not effective at hurting the dragon,
Oh yeah,
but I
the
want to try to
celestial
fire.
piercer.
I want to try to fire across the dragon's like nose and eyes
Mm-hmm.
to try to give him disadvantage or make it harder for the dragon to maneuver. Like, instead of firing at the dragon to hurt, I want to fire at the dragon to distract.
Warning shot, basically.
Yeah, he's at warning shots or covering fire even,
Something.
if possible.
Mm. Hang on, I'm answering somebody.
Sure, fair enough.
Yay!
We have to get to that point, mind you, but yeah.
I know, but still.
You want to make you want to fire a warning shot across the nose.
Yes, literally.
Go for it.
Okay. Same sort of dex attack roll.
I will roll.
Oh, okay.
'Cause it's him, not you.
Oh, fair enough. Like a saving throw, basically.
Yeah, it's a saving throw. And he makes it.
Damn. All right.
Yep.
That's kind of like winces as he watches the dragon like undeterred as he like fires in front of the dragon.
You hear the because the ship is so broken and you know sparks are flying. You hear kind of a small male voice coming out of one of the speakers. Careful, I said across her nose, not up it. and then it goes.
Drukathier just says, "Well, pick me out a pink plushie. I don't know, something."
Okay, that's your go, Hearth. You've got some help closing up some breaches because Aya's down there. So what do you want to do?
Aya walks in, and there's a Hearth, just like using his foot to hold down one pipe that keeps wanting to pop up. Him using his hand to hold like a hole down.
Oh, hang on. And she comes over, looks at the manual. Oh, comes over and let's see.
This is what happens when you make things for fucking form and not function.
Hearth, you can still see that she's very much afraid, but that she's now in this room with you, she's away from whatever has frightened her.
Yeah.
But she still is frightened. And she sits there. It's sort of like she came down here to get her mind off of whatever is frightening her. And she looks at... Okay, now, according to the instructions, you're supposed to put the A tab into the B tab and wrap it around the C tab.
That's more confusing than actual magic, but okay then, he says, well,
That's what it says in the manual.
It's a little picture and it says from IKEA.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Very much
Like
so.
casting spells with Harry Potter, but it's the name of IKEA furniture.
Exactly. And I will have you roll.
Alborn.
I want you to roll me a well, let's see here. A sleight of hand check with advantage because you are getting help.
What is hard sleight of hand? Oh, he gets a single +1.
I'll just say but
Oh,
you're getting advantage on this.
thank God he has advantage because, well, actually, the first roll was a 20.
Yeah,
But
that was a nat 20.
No, just a 19 +1.
That's fine. With Aya's help, you managed to fix this particular breach in the ship.
He's just like, got it. He like flops over just with a loud thunk.
Hull breach
It
on
is
deck 3
now
sealed.
Aya's turn. Mysterious voice in her head, please go.
Uh-oh.
Little Aya, come on now. You face down Leilana, scared of this? Pathetic. Get yourself up off the floor.
Well, with that help, let's see. That's a 15, and that's plus 2 plus second. 15, 16, 17. Let's see that. Take that one. And just kind of shakes her head, crosses her eyes. Hearth, you see this? You see her shake her head, cross her eyes, and go, "Ball, get out of my head." She actually says that.
Huh. Voices in the head.
I do believe Ball was goading me into not being afraid anymore.
Did it work?
Apparently so.
Well, then I guess his job.
You hear distant laughter as his voice fades away to nothing.
Yep. So Aya is no longer appeared. Shazon, on the other hand,
Daizon doesn't get the treatment.
still appears. Unfortunately.
What's happening with the fighter?
Well, it's now Rag's turn. Rag is now in the...
Well, you're in the fighter. The ship is leveled out at this point, and I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw as you are thrown back against your seat. But the concussive force of the launch.
For Rags? Oh, this is going to be good.
Yep.
That is a 24.
You grit your teeth and manage to hold on as the seatbelt just presses against your chest, and you just skyrocket out of the launch bay towards the dragon.
Okay, I'm supposed to I'm supposed to find this person named Alhoot.
No target selected.
Alhoot.
Target unknown. Please specify a target.
Let's see here. Now, know what he had as a. She matched it. Oh my god, she matched it just with passive perception. Because she is so awesome.
So cool.
She kind of she's looking at her viewpoint. She sees the dragon. She's not afeared. And she sees a very small owl-like creature sitting on the back of this great dragon, and she goes, let's see, let me see if I can remember how to do this. Computer, target, owl creature.
Target selected. Do you wish to open fire?
No.
No, I don't want to open fire.
Just
I
want to move.
want to swing by and pick owl creature up.
Intercept course selected.
Thank you. No, I don't want to fire on the owl creature. I know.
And
Like you hear, like, the guns loading.
The guns just, like come out like now deploying hard points.
Yeah. Yep. And Owlhoot sees this. The ship. How fast does this little ship go?
This can move 90 feet a second.
In 6 seconds.
6 seconds, yes. 90 feet in
Okay,
6
so
seconds.
it moves close enough to Owlhoot. Owlhoot will now roll his acrobatics, which he makes because that's a 26.
The hatch on the the canopy opens and
Yeah,
jumps
it's
in.
basically what Owlhoot does, which the only person that can see this is Mookie. Mookie, you see this little owl creature run across the drake's head, do a flip into the canopy of this small ship.
Oh, that was impressive.
Right.
And then you see the ship fly off.
Also, I will say this much to help secure my spot. Alden's gonna do something very interesting. I'm
Oh,
trying
dear.
because it's gonna take me, I have to go through the turns until he's next, so I'm just making sure.
Okay, it is now the dragon's turn. The dragon's going. Turns his head and it's looking straight at you, Mookie. Because you're the only one out here.
Okay.
It's
It
still
is
holding
going.
a ship.
It's holding a ship, mind you. It is going to take 2 claws and a bite at you.
Okay. Roll to hit, I guess.
Yeah, what is your AC?
17.
Let's see. The bite just hits. This is 17. And the other 2 definitely hit.
Alright, what's total damage?
Total damage?
Yep.
102.
He shrugs
Both-
it off.
Both piercing. The claws attacks are both piercing and radiant damage. The bite attack is piercing and cold damage.
Well, I mean, I'm Azamar. I have resistance against radiant damage, though, don't I?
I do not know.
You might. I think a lot of.
By nature,
think
I
it-
believe that's a thing.
Yeah. It'll say in the character sheet under your defenses, if that helps.
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
Fun trivia fact: Vess is also resistant to radiant damage.
Celestial resistance. You have resistance to necrotic damage and radiant damage, which means you take half.
Yeah. So, if the piercing is radiant, right?
Well, it's Give me a second. Not that button. Stupid thing. It's the piercing is 23. You have two things of 23, which is the piercing, and then you have the radiant damage. One is that one 11, which that is half.
Okay.
So
So
everything else you take.
so the sum total of that with the reduced damage is what?
I'm figuring that out right now.
Because it would be less than 102, wouldn't it?
It would. I just that's 85 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, he shrugs that off easy.
Yeah, I know. It's now your turn.
He has a big toothy grin. My turn as he lets go of the ship, draws Belfring the Justice, and launches himself at the dragon.
Okay. Roll.
No.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yes. Roll.
Okay, so
Actually, no, this doesn't
That
actually stop
is-
my plans at all, actually. Continue on! Continue
So-
forth!
if the line is above the crook, that means it's a 9, right? On a d20?
On a d20. A second.
Or is it a 6?
If it's above, well, if it's below, the roundy part, it's a 6. If it's below the where it count the tail, it's a 9.
Okay, so, alright. Great, now I have to do math again. Hold on.
I must say, you have this particular creature on the ropes. I'll be able to give lots of information to a certain person.
Alright, so, I rolled a 9, and that's 12. That's 9, that's 1, 12, no. 20. Okay, so there's that, and then my hit DC, which has to add to that. So, yeah, and then 34 to hit.
Yeah, you hit. What's your damage?
Okay, so let me add this up because I don't want to do that with my dice. I want to use a dice roller. Okay, so 8 plus 19. So now remind me, when I roll this, I have to add my strength to
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
Okay.
you do.
Okay, so we go ahead and do.
Because you're using your sword, and that uses strength.
Okay, so I might as well go ahead and add my strength modifier to the plus to the plus the damage, so I have the total before I actually roll the dice. Because if I don't add it together, I won't know the full number. So that's 19 plus 12. Oh my god. 11. Carry the 1. Oh god, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
Well, it also depends on what kind of damage you're doing. But go ahead.
I'm really sorry for your dragon pet.
Go ahead.
$34?
34.
Yep.
What kind of damage is that?
Let me look. That is. It's slashing damage.
But this is a magical weapon, right?
Yes, it is a magical weapon. Let me see what the thing is. So it's the
Don't-
holy axe.
Well, wait a minute. If it's a holy axe, then does it come with anything else?
You have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon. Yeah. All it says is damage type is slashing, but the notes are it's a holy axe for the God of Steel. I think it's
Okay.
only blessed by the God of Steel, not actually blessed for damage.
Okay, that's fine. You're completely fine. Let's see that. Moogie, and by the way, you have more than one hit
Yes, I
this-
do.
on this thing. That was just the first hit.
Yep.
It screams in pain.
All right.
Go
Come
ahead.
on, give me time to do hold one. Damn it! I'm gonna strangle you.
So
You always do this. Ah!
let's see. Energy. You and that and that. And okay. So the next one is 25 to hit.
You hit.
Okay. And then my next one will be, since it's my second swing, I can use the other number, and that's going to go. Oh, this one's gonna hurt even worse. 1D,
Just might.
and then 38 slashing damage. So it hurt worse. I mean, 38's higher than 34.
Moogie.
Mhm.
You do the first swing, it hurts. You hear the howl of this creature of pain. You come down with the second hit. Are you cleaving it or are you cutting off its head?
I want to split its skull down the middle.
Oh,
Okay,
if you're
so
gonna,
you-
Horns.
well, that goes my idea. I was gonna make
Sorry.
Ultwin do something actually kind of nice in a way. He was gonna do something in particularly, but as usual, it's ruined. I need to walk away. I don't feel too good mentally.
Sorry.
What happens is, Mookie, you come down on this Drake. You cleave it in half, and as you're cleaving it in half, and you see both sides kind of fall away, it also disappears, and you hear laughter.
Whoa, it's on.
The most hideous laughter that you have ever heard, Mookie.
I hate laughter.
Oh. Do I know whose laughter this belongs to?
Roll me a history check.
Oh, great. The one stat that I hate rolling.
Mm,
Oh, I got a 13.
it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just don't know. You've heard the laughter before, yes, but you can't place it.
That was certainly interesting. He puts the sword away and goes to fly back to check on the others.
Yeah, the ship is very, very banged up. You've seen black smoke coming out of the back of it. What are the rest of you doing? We're effectively out of combat now.
Tricathio's computer, or someone. Status report.
You don't hear anything, Drac.
Computer?
Computer is broken.
Can Vessel take a look at the system's like
Go
console?
ahead. Yep. Go ahead.
What would that be, like an Arcana check?
Yes.
That would be an.
Or what?
I would say that would be an investigation.
Oh, that's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the computer runs on Arcana, but, you know.
I was gonna say it's pretty. Computers are pretty arcane, right?
Yeah, computers are okay. Yeah.
Investigation.
Investigation. Yeah.
11.
It's a mess of wires, Vess. A mess of colorful wires, I might add. You know, there's red, blue, aquamarine,
Vess
pink.
will hug like one of
Toys.
the harnesses out,
Toys.
and we'll say, "Well, how does this look?" I'll hold it to track.
Drac, what are you doing?
Drac is like, okay, so, apparently the ship is not working. He's like
Oh,
playing
it's
on
working.
the.
You can still hear hums coming from it.
Yeah, he's like
But
moving the
it,
joystick back and forth slowly, and like it's not responding. And he's like,
it's not. It's not. It is now. It's because it's leveled out. It is
Yeah.
leveled out and it's flying
on autopilot or
about
something.
25. Yeah, it's 25 feet of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Towards, I'm assuming we're still on course. He's like tapping a bunch
You
of buttons.
can assume away.
He's going to roll a intelligence check to see if we are still on course.
All right.
I can still roll with this. I can still win.
You could open the shield window thing to look out
Yeah.
if it works.
That is a 8. He sensors are not giving him anything.
Nope, they are not.
Because we're coming to the end, I could start getting a little funny and also adding some stuff. But yeah.
So
Aldu-
what else? What are other people doing? Alduin, you're still up there.
Yeah. Aldwin is kind of standing still. No one's really noticed, but he hasn't moved. He's been gripping onto his loot very hard. Why? Because something is coming back to him.
Not only is something coming back to him, but something is also coming over him.
Ooh.
Mm,
He remembers something.
well,
And also something bad, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know where you're going with this. I know where I'm going with this. I don't know how to describe where I'm going with this.
mm. Alduin, as you're holding your loot, you're starting to see the black ooze
You.
coming from your fingers once again.
He looks at them. Now what is this supposed to mean?
Alduin, you suspect that your conversation with that particular voice, and you knew that voice,
Mhm.
might have had something to do with it.
Mhm. He squints, looking at his hand.
Hearth, what are you doing?
Give me some. I'm being horribly distracted by my grandpa over here.
Oh, we can move on to somebody else.
No, don't! I'm back.
Okay.
I just had to look at my grandpa over there. Like, just staring at him. But anyways,
Hmm.
Hearth is inherent. Like, actually, he's not doing anything. I mainly want to focus on Aldwin here because Hearth isn't important at the moment. Damn it! But Hearth literally just comes back covered in whatever the hell he's covered in, probably oil.
He's
and stuff.
covered in grease, and Nea's not that far behind him. Just kind of. I told you not to pull on that particular pipe.
You said it too late.
I was trying to say it at the right time.
Well, guess what? You looked away, and next thing you know, I'm literally swimming in it.
Drac just turns around and looks and says, "Oh,
Hearth,
Yes.
Hearth,
Yes.
there's something wrong with Alduin.
Hmm. Looks at Aldwin. Aldwin,
Now you can do the.
they can do the cool.
You can do the cool.
What cool? There's multiple cools. Dark matter and the other cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do
you
both.
you do
cool.
your cool.
I'll do both cools at the same time.
Okay.
Aldwin is thinking, looking at it, and then something comes back to his memory.
Mm-hmm.
A little brief flash of someone, maybe a family member or something, giving him some sort of sheet. There was a sheet of music, he thinks.
Okay.
And he remembers something about, at least it had about 6 different songs. And he's starting to remember them slowly.
Okay.
Out of nowhere, he just kind of looks at his goopy hand, and without any hesitation, he just quickly wipes goop into the scarred marks on the lute,
Okay.
and electricity wraps around it. Then he sits down, and he starts to try and play something. Now I have to roll.
You do.
It's just his performance, and that usually goes well. Not the best this time, but he rolled a 16. Well, not a 16,
Okay.
a 19. A 19.
All right.
He rolls a 19, and then all of a sudden, something kind of happens.
What happens?
Basically, little electricity-filled lights start filling the air. As basically, really all everyone hears around them is creaking of metal, but not like bad creaking. It sounds like, well, it is bad creaking, it sounds, but it doesn't look bad. But, Drucathia,
Yes.
you're looking at like your broken ass screens and all that stuff, nothing on, and all of a sudden you slowly start seeing screens flickering back to life.
Huh? What? He's tapping a couple buttons, like running diagnostics.
Things start slowly coming back to life. As Oldwin has remembered the first song of 6 or so of the song of, it's pretty much like re-restoration. It's like super version of rewinding things when they're broken.
Cool.
Only works on inanimate objects.
Cathos looking around. Computer status report.
Well, the computer seemed probably a Cuddy voice. I don't do the computer though.
Yep. Error. The systems have been critically damaged. Numerous repairs are under. Wait.
Oldwin has his eyes closed and he's just playing this. It's a weirdly nice tune, but it's weird because everything's kind of weirdly happening.
And Altuin, as you're playing this tune, remember having this memory of this person handing you this sheet of music. You hear in your head, this time it's a female voice.
Mhm.
Very good. I approve.
Yay! That put a smile on my face in real life.
Mookie, where are you?
Moogie is now hovering just outside the ship, looking all over it, trying to figure out what he can repair.
It looks like the ship, as you're looking at it, zaps with electricity, and you see lights coming on.
As
Well,
like
that's certainly interesting.
there's a piece of bulkhead that is kind of like in front of you that's been like blown out from like an impact, like wound from the metal. The metal just goes.
Success.
Yep. It just heals itself. The metal's just bending itself back into place and it just seals itself up. As this like wave of like sparks and stuff goes across the ship's hull.
Yes. Yes.
Oof. Yay! Oldwin did something. Clap.
And also, Moogie, since you're on the outside, you also see the ship, the smaller ship, go kind of do a buzz by you, and then go underneath the ship.
Well,
I certainly didn't know he had that. I'm gonna have to talk with him about that later.
Are you going back inside the ship?
No, he's gonna stay outside and continue watching the damage repair itself just to make sure nothing is missed.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you see as this electricity is outside, kind of playing
that's
across the surface of the ship. You see things that you wouldn't think electricity could fix. but it's being fixed.
I have a sneaking suspicion that someone was hiding a little trick up their sleeve on board. I'm gonna have to find out who.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to figure that out.
Dracatio stands up from his seat and says, "Well, that was unexpected." As the little joystick thing just retracts back down into the hull.
And you also now you hear the computer go, "Ship coming back on board."
And as everything is fixed, the music finally ends. And Oldwin just opens his eyes and gets back up. That works better than I remember it doing. This was putting the loot away. And Arthur's
goop-
just standing there.
Yeah, the goop hasn't gone away. That goop hasn't gone away.
Yay.
Dracatio is gonna walk over to one of the consoles, tap a couple buttons, and throw up like the ship's display of the navigation array, and we're actually just like there's two radiuses. So if you think of like a outer radius, there's an outer ring which is we've just entered the outer ring of Anthem's defense grid. There's an inner ring which is like the heavier defense, like closer range, and that's where the wall line of Anthem starts, where it comes into view. We are now entering the outer ring. And he says, "Well, we've definitely entered the hot spot for Anthem. That's odd." He's tapping a couple keys. Defense grid appears to be offline.
Ooh, well, that's not good.
Because I would have
As
gotten a response from the Anthem's control systems if they were online, asking for details.
Yes, as you're flying, just as you're flying from the outer ring into the inner ring over the wall, you see behind you. Right, I'm assuming, Moogie, that you're following the ship.
Yeah, Moogie is
Okay.
following the ship.
Okay. So Moogie, you would see this too. Just as the ship and the ship does recognize that Moogie's out there. Just as Moogie comes across this particular wall, the defenses go up.
Beep. Warning. System defenses online. Anthem countermeasures activated. Warning, you are entering unauthorized controlled airspace. You will be shot down in the next 30 seconds if you do not identify.
And this is not only being broadcast in the ship, it is also over a loudspeaker.
Very loud.
Yeah, coming from the ground, so
As
Moogie can hear
you
it
see one of
from
these
the
like
outside.
giant like turrets just go. It's a gauze cannon with a railgun attachment.
Oh dear.
What
Arthur
do you
kind of shakes
do?
his a little bit.
What do you do?
Well, it depends. Whose turn is it?
Well, we were out of combat. Now we're going back into combat. So
Well,
I mean, we're not quite in combat yet until we identify ourselves or choose to attack. So
Ooh. I'm pulling like I'm maybe pulling like deep backstory stuff. But can Vess get on the comms and try something?
I mean, yeah.
go ahead.
So
Dracathius
This
is
is
standing
like- oh,
there,
this is
like at his in front of his chair, looking at the screen. Well, he's about to say something, and then you just kind of shove him aside and push the comm button.
oh, I got an idea. Can I just hop in here for a sec?
He looks at you and it's like, "Sure, but make it fast."
Okay. This is Ambassador Vess. We request landing clearance. This is like way back, but like Vess was originally sent from Anthem as an ambassador. way
I want
back.
you, yes, Vess, I want you to roll me a persuasion check.
This is
Oh dear,
this is
this is gonna come crashing down at a heartbeat.
Oh, very possibly, because like his ambassadorial credentials are way out of date. He's been adventuring for quite a while and not filing reports or anything.
That's true. He has.
I rolled a 10 on my persuasion check.
Congratulations, you failed.
This is Anthem Tower Control Security. Can we please get your authorization credential key number, please?
Yeah, yes. One moment while I get my key, I will put like my hand over the mic and I'll be like, I lost my key.
Mm.
I'm not actually sure I had a key.
You didn't.
Drukathier's eyes just bulge.
Hearth's like, and Alduin just kind of looks over.
At this point, you see Rags and a very small, owl-like creature dressed in a leather outfit with a rapier. The owl it looks like a barn owl. If you guys know what a barn owl looks like.
I know.
Okay.
It's so small.
Yeah, it's a small. Goes. Oh, pleased to make your acquaintance. I see that you are here to support the resistance.
I guess so.
Drukathier
Hearth
turns
says.
and says, "Yes, and welcome to the." He gestures to the ship. Welcome to the Ventura. I'm Drukathio. This is Dr. Vess. I believe you met some of the rest of the crew. Hopefully.
I did. I already had a conversation with the small, scaly one. Hey! Well, you
Hey.
are small and scaly.
Ooh,
Good
Wait.
point.
That is the truth.
I love all these pleasantries, but like, is there any chance you have authorization? Get
Hearth-
into Anthem?
Hearth says,
No, I am a part of the resistance. We are trying to fight against this
Hello, this is Anthem
travesty
Security.
that had happened to Anthem. I
Hearth thinks and goes, I think I have an idea. Brother, come here.
Anthem
and his
Security still on. Can I get your security credentials, please?
Hearth just walks up and goes, there's no Pacific need. They're apart with the Strongtooth family. He's lightly remembering where they are, somewhere in the logs. He doesn't remember
Roll
where.
persuasion.
roll me a persuasion check.
His brother Oldwin's better at persuasion than he is.
How
Yes, but
close is the control tower?
Control tower is about I want to say 60 meters from your current position.
I have an idea. That's gonna be a weird brother flip-flop trade-off, but yeah. Okay, Hearth managed to roll an 18 with his persuasion.
18, you said?
18.
Standby. Unidentified vessel. We will grant you authorization and landing clearance in just a moment. We need one more verification from your vessel. What is your vessel's security key? Drukathio just kind of like bites his nails. He's just like, I haven't used that in so long. And he just punches up a couple buttons and sends.
now I want you to roll me a persuasion check.
Yes. Let me just
Is there only one turret focused on the ship at the moment?
At the moment, yes.
Yes.
But it's not firing. It's just following the ship as it's moving. It's not firing.
Per number 4, I want that one.
Hearth
Oof.
thinks really deeply and goes, I
Oof.
think if that-
Persuasion. It's an 8.
Damn it.
Oh God! Yeah, Drag. The key that you have is so old that the people in the tower do not recognize it.
I'm sorry, sir. That's a key that we don't recognize.
Hmm.
We're
Wait.
going to have to ask you to hold short in a holding pattern.
Oldwin out of nowhere goes, wait a minute. I think that's our wrong one. Our actual one is this, as he quickly types in and
Roll me
one.
another. Yeah, roll me a persuasion check.
It's Aldwin this time, and that's a little bit more of his job. Now he's
Meanwhile, you just hear unidentified vessel. You have 10 seconds
Yeah!
remaining.
yes, Aldwin, 26.
Woohoo!
You do it. Yeah, you sit there and go, ooh. You close your eyes and go,
Very well.
and Alderman,
Mhm.
you've got your eyes closed. You don't know what you're doing, but everybody else around you sees black that's on his fingertips as it's touching the keyboard,
Mhm.
touching the right keys. Alderman, you have no idea what you're doing. Because you've got your eyes closed, you have no idea what keys you're. To you, it's all out of it's random. But everybody else sees this black goo that's coming off of his fingertips touch the right keys, like it's sentient.
Yeah, Dracathio, just his jaw slightly slackens and he doesn't say anything. As
Yep.
crackling over the comms. Welcome back, USS Ventura. Authorization clearance to land on pad 3 cleared. Welcome to Anthem.
And
Wow, impressive.
the thing turns off. Moogie, you're outside
As the cannon goes.
Yeah, the cannon which had been following the ship gets to a certain point, and then the prongs lower.
Mugi is going to swoop into the control tower. How many people are inside this control tower?
There are
Well,
6.
I was gonna say 4, but 6 works too.
Yep. 2 of them are guards.
Like they
Rest
let
of
us
them are-
in.
Well, the rest of them are tagged. So what do you do?
Mugi swoops onto the platform and walks up the stairs. He is pissed.
Why? They let us
Why?
in.
Well, he doesn't know that.
Well, no, we started moving forward again, and they gave up.
He's
Always
he's
set on
mad
the
in
loudspeaker.
general. He's mad at everything right now.
The 2
Yeah,
guards
that's
stand
true.
at attention at the door and say, "Sir, you are not authorized at this location. We need to
The
ask
good
you to
thing-
leave."
The good thing,
Mugi
at least you
flares his
don't look
wings
related.
open.
At least you don't look related to us. So we're not in trouble that much.
Mugi flares his wings open, showing his brilliant white feathers.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I suggest both of you let me pass before I scrunch your heads against the steel wall. He's gonna roll intimidation.
Oh.
21.
They look at you and say, "Yes, yes, General." They step aside. No credentials needed, sir.
He walks into the room, closes the door behind him, and proceeds to beat the snot out of every single one of the control workers.
Actually, you walk in, and there are the 4 techs, and you hear the very end of what is being said to the ship, which is
Clearance
we're allowing you
authorization
to land.
accepted. Welcome to Anthem.
Welcome to Anthem.
He doesn't care. He proceeds to beat the snot out of them.
One of them looks up, takes his headset off and says, "Who are you?" And then you just see a headset go flying across the window.
You hear screams over the comms as they're still open.
Ah.
And then you just hear you hear another ship saying, "This," because it's a joint comms across all the vessels in Anthem. This is the Poseidon 3. Is everything okay over there, Tower?
Mugi presses the button. All clear. You're free to move in. And then walks out of the room, shuts the door behind him, and tells the guards, "Do not go inside there, or I'll kill you both."
Yes,
Actually,
General.
it would have been better if you said, "Everything's fine. Everything's fine here. How are you?" I'm
How are
sorry.
you
That's
doing?
where my brain was.
No. One of the guards is talking to the other guard, and it's like, "So, what do you have planned for Saturday?" "Oh, I'm just gonna be doing a thing with my cousin, and and then the door flies open, as like a body just goes flying, and like over.
No,
No, the
bodies
headset,
don't actually.
the headset goes
Well, no.
flying out.
Well, yeah, a headset goes flying out, but a body doesn't fly out because
No.
Boogie's not
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
crass.
And I don't think anyone's dead. I think he just knocked
No,
out.
he just mollywopped them all.
Yeah, none of them are dead. They're just knocked out.
Yeah.
So the door flies open. You see a set of headphones go out the door. A couple of seconds later, there's the Azamar, and both of the guards go, "Everything all right, sir?"
It's fine. Keep this door shut. No one goes in there. Period.
Yes, sir. And they take up their positions again. Boogie, where are you going?
He takes off and flies back towards the ship.
Okay.
There's blood covering his.
Damn.
As a small puddle of blood just start oozing out from underneath the door frame.
And the two guards don't even notice.
Correct.
I know. I like the idea one of them sees that and just goes, "Oh," just pulls out like a handkerchief and just throws it on it. Better.
Yeah. Yep.
Or the other one says, "Too much partying in there." I told them
The
to lay
ship-
off the fruit punch.
As the ship lands on the platform, it's been a long time since you've been back, Brack. A long time. The ship lands. Moogie is not that far behind. Moogie, you see exactly where the ship lands.
Docking restraints.
Yep.
Docking restraints have been attached. Welcome to Anthem.
Docking restraints.
They're basically like these metal clamps that clip onto the side of the ship.
That sounds a lot more menacing than it probably should be.
Yeah, whatever.
Uh,
stands up and says, "Well," stretches like his arms and is like, "It's good to be home." He's walking towards the exit.
Rex goes, "Now wait a minute.
Remember, Drac, this isn't just a
This isn't home."
yes, it isn't just a home
says,
vacation.
"I'm well aware." As you see like a glass panel on the wall, and he just pulls like a key out, pushes a couple buttons, types in a key, opens the hat, the little glass cover, and pulls out his golden great axe and says, "That's why I'm bringing Bertha with me."
Oh.
As he
All
puts it
right.
over his shoulder.
Alhoot, thank you for helping us with that. Whatever that thing was, that wasn't supposed to be here. I mean, you all agree.
Definitely, they either upgraded the defenses or they invited a very large celestial beast of some kind to guard the
Very
city.
strange, but you know.
Well, I mean, this is Aetherec we're talking about here.
That is true.
Actually, thinking of it, Hearth looks at Mr. Owlfriend and goes, "Why were you on top of that dragon's head anyways?"
I was sent to help. I heard of a group that was trying to liberate the city from a certain somebody that has sent her feelers out.
Did they possibly have glowing green eyes?
I do not know. I did not actually talk to this particular person.
Dracathio just kind of pinches his nose
It
and
was-
just shakes his head.
It was a rumor that this person was asking for people to help A with the resistance, and B, this person knew that there was going to be more help arriving in a ship, and here it is. I saw you fighting against this Drake, and I humbly offer my services, but I do not need to be here, because if they catch me, bad things happen.
That is
I have heard
true.
rumors that if anybody comes out of their houses, they're immediately swooped up and taken away to a holding facility, let's say. And when they come out, they're not the same. So I cannot be with you when you all go out the bottom. Do not worry. I'll keep my eye on you.
Tricathia looks.
And if you need help, I will be there, but I cannot be seen.
Fair enough, he says. Anyone got any bright ideas of how to get into Anthem without being detected? Because right now
Well, I'm not
it's
particularly
nightfall,
recognized.
and you
Yeah.
you just hear kind of like speaker like out because we're in the cargo bay, but you can hear the reverberation of the speakers throughout the city. Attention Anthem patrons, please remember that quarantine is currently in effect. Anyone outside past quarantine will be terminated. And
Damn
lethal action may result. As decreed
Okay.
by Anthem Law, Statute 7184214. And just on a loop every 5 minutes.
Yeah, Moogie, you do hear one of these.
Is there any shops nearby?
They're all closed. It's nightfall.
And not where the ship is currently parked, because this is the landing.
It's a
Pad,
shipyard.
It's a shipyard. There are no.
It's in the industrial district.
Yeah, there are no. Technically, there are no shops. There are plenty of warehouses, though. But there are
Yes.
no shops
Moogie,
here.
Drax
Moogie's
warehouse
gonna-
is just a mile away.
Moogie is going to flitter over to the nearest warehouse and kind of quietly force his way through one of the windows.
Quietly?
All right.
Yeah, you can tear a window seal apart without making a whole lot of noise.
Okay,
Yes.
Moogie, roll a stealth. Put your buddy where your mouth is.
All right. How about a 19?
That'll do it.
I rolled an 18 plus 1.
Which warehouse are you breaking into? Because there's Dracathia's warehouse a mile away.
The one that's closest to the landing pads.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
not Dracathia's.
That's not Dragathio's. You very quietly, and there are windows. There are not many windows, but there are windows. You can walk over. You carefully take out this window. We put it on the ground. Are you looking into this particular warehouse?
I'm gonna crawl into it.
Okay.
I'm looking around for anything that may be cloaks or clothing that's rather dark that can hide the appearance at night. Anything of that nature.
See here.
Oldwin gets in a
Not
thinking position.
Not in this particular warehouse. This warehouse appears to not have clothing. This warehouse appears to have what looks like supplies, like foodstuffs.
He's gonna grab a few food items here and there and stuff them in his pocket or his satchel
Okay.
or on his chest. This will be good for later.
Yeah. Also in the ship, everyone sees Oldwin thinking really hard, tapping his lute, and then all of a sudden something comes to mind. And he tries to play something else now. And I'm gonna roll every time he tries to do this to see how successful he is on learning a song.
Performance check.
I am limiting myself to 6 songs only, of course. Oh, 22. With his
Not
performance.
bad.
All of a sudden, as he's starting to play the song stops sounding like it's coming from him in particular, and it sounds like it's coming from everywhere. Does any of you want to say anything?
Dracathia's like, did someone leave the PA system on?
You try to speak. You hear nothing, but only the song. Oldwin has learned his next song. Song 2, Song of Silence.
Ooh.
Oh. Dracathia's like speaking, and you just see like his lips moving, but like nothing's coming out.
Just kind of looks at Alduin and goes,
And then Oldwin stops after he realizes people are trying to talk to him, and then the music fades away, and he goes, "What is it?"
Wow, what?
Interesting.
Eldwin, what did you just play there?
I think it was named something like. It was something about silence, I think.
That
It's a
may
really nice
be
song.
to our
It's weird.
advantage.
Does it start, "Hello, darkness, my old friend"?
Doesn't really have any lyrics, Aldwin says,
Oh,
shooting that down.
Well, drat. Because
The-
that's a really good song. Song of Silence is a really good song.
yeah.
Good song.
The
By a great couple of guys.
Well, what was Drakathia gonna say?
Tricathio says, we could possibly use that to get in. Does that song work externally, like no one else can hear us?
As I understand, I think it's you can't hear anything.
Perfect. He smiles from ear to ear.
I don't even
I
think
might have a way
gunshot
of-
would be able to be
I
heard.
have an idea of getting in. He
Mhm.
says, we go in under the cloak of night, and since no one can hear us, no one will know we're there.
Well, yes. Thankfully, the music would be the only thing, but
He
No one
reaches
can tell
into
where
a
it's coming
nearby like compartment and starts like grabbing like
hmm,
clothing out of one of the nearby robe closets, and he's like, no, not that, not that, not that. And it's like he's just throwing piles of like various cloth and material over his shoulder.
very impressive, brother.
He's looking for a cloak.
Al Hoot kind of looks at the group and goes, "It sounds like you have a plan to get in to the city. I must leave you now. But as I said, I will be watching."
Very well. Dracathio's like bending over, like trying to look at something on the in the back of the cupboard. Pulls it up, holds it up. It's a bunch of cloaks that are about everyone's size.
Nice.
And as you're bringing up all these cloaks, that's everyone's size. So you also have a Moogie-sized cloak.
Yes.
Okay. As you're coming back up, Al Hoot is not there.
Where did he go? Just like turns around. It's like, oh, I have one for you. Oh,
He can't be with us, remember?
he
He
just
completely disappears.
yeah. He's like
Well,
looking
the
around
stealth
for
part's
him.
good for him.
Yep.
But yeah, also I am writing down Aldwin's songs. They're very simply written down, but gotta
That's
keep
fine.
track of them.
Mookie, what are you doing?
Moogie is gonna come back out of the warehouse now, out of the window that he came through,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to make his way back to the ship.
Okay.
Can you roll me a stealth check, please?
Yeah, 1 second. All right. Oh boy, here we go. That is a 21.
You notice that there's a couple of these towers positioned throughout the city that have like large white searchlights with like they're kind of like olden day like lighthouses, but they've been set up so that they can point the beam in any direction. And you see one of these lights kind of just slowly pan towards the rooftops where you are. And I guess you hide under a box or something, or part of the metal grating or something. Because you rolled a 21, right?
Yeah, he rolled a 21. He kind of hides himself behind
Yep.
a wall out
Yep.
of sight.
The searchlight just continues passing by without even pausing, and you continue on your way back to the ship.
Like you get back, and everyone
There's-
is already super confident looking.
Yeah, you're back on the ship, and well, back at the ship, and the hatch is still closed, and the door's closed to the hatch. You're gonna have to knock.
Look quietly.
He's just going to stand there and wait. He knows they're going to be coming out of the ship.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
There's a little pneumatic hiss. It goes.
It closes, and you see everyone like dressed in robes, and you see Aldwin with his loot out. Like he usually has it on his back. He only has it out when he wants to use it. This confuses you.
Dracathia, well, you see a bunch of people in like hooded outfits. It's like that, like the hood's up. their faces are very concealed. It looks like a bunch of monks have just left the ship.
Yeah, the only way you can tell it's Alduin is via his goopy hands and the loot.
Yep.
The very recognizable loot.
But you don't know who else these other people are, at least from...
Well, actually, the conductive reasoning. You
Fair.
could easily tell
Yeah.
if it's Hen
Yeah.
there. You can imagine
Yeah.
everyone else.
Okay, well, I'll let it slide. Yep. So, Tricathio's there and stuff like that, and he says, "Welcome, and let's get moving." He's
Alduin goes,
pointing
"Well,"
towards the
like
general
you see he's getting
direction.
primed to play, and like, you're gonna say anything about this?
Where is the spotlight at?
The spotlight is kind of making its way towards the like the shipyard area, like it's coming around, but you have like maybe 2 minutes before it reaches you guys.
Alduin goes, "Come on, let's go." He says, while he starts plucking the
Wait,
first.
no, so where is the? I mean, like, is it up on top of a building? Is it on a on a tower of some kind?
It's on a tower that there's like 7 different towers positioned throughout the city. And each one of them has a spotlight that just goes in a circle radius around that zone. And the arc of the beam reaches about 60 feet in a circle. So 60 by 60, so 120 diameter.
Hmm. Is there any like debris laying on the ground? There's like pipes and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of like obstacle, because remember these are above the roof line, so they can't cut through like all the alleyways and stuff like that very well.
There is like debris, like old metal pipes and stuff that are scattered around, right? Pipes and wood and
Crates
stuff like that.
and crates and like cargo and stuff like that, I guess. Yeah. Crates and cargo and various objects of like, like
And are there any large pieces of metal laying around?
no large pieces of metal.
Damn it! There goes my idea.
That goes right. But yeah, like,
Where are you guys going?
We're gonna be making our way towards the main castle, because Tricathio believes that, that's where we need to go if we need to deal with whatever's trying to control. That's where all the control mechanisms are for the city, anyway.
yeah.
Mhm.
After you start getting like a little further from the ship, Alduin starts playing
Mhm.
the Song of Silence.
Okay.
And of course, at first it doesn't do much, and Mugi's very confused why he's playing music that's that loud, and then it starts changing from being directional to everywhere.
Yep.
Like after a few seconds, it becomes that sound deafening.
Yep. But
Then everyone starts walking.
the lights are still doing their normal patterns.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This doesn't make us invisible. This just makes us soundless. It keeps sound from getting in or getting out, really.
Correct.
And it's also a pretty large radius, meaning combat
Fair.
can be easy to contain as long as he's playing the song.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he stops, it fades away.
Yep.
So yeah.
So we are making our way down one of the alleys from the industrial
you
district
are.
to the commercial
Yeah.
district.
You are.
Because of course we can't talk. We just have to gesture to each other.
Mhm. As you are walking, and this music is playing, I want all of you to roll me a perception check.
At least our eyes work.
Yes.
Ooh.
15 from Drac.
18?
Vest rolled a 10.
15. 1-5.
15. Okay.
Let me roll my perception, and that's about a 6 for Aldwin.
30,
Aldwin rolled a
20.
11.
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, I know.
Oh no! Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Aldwin may have rolled a 11, but that's not as bad as Hearth. Hearth rolled a 1.
Oh no. Okay, so who got what?
I got a 5.
5,
10 here.
10.
Uh,
What did Drac get?
15.
15. Okay. You see it. The Dragonborn brothers.
yeah, neither of them see.
What did they roll?
They Aldwin rolled a 11, but Hearth rolled a whole 1.
Okay. So, Drac,
Yep.
Aya, Shazon, and Rags. All of you see this. Drac sees this.
What is it?
A humanoid being in plate mail comes across your path.
Cathio just goes like this with like the like everyone stop, like military signals, because he's been in the military before. Well,
Yep.
Anthem military.
Very good.
And he comes to a stop, and I guess Aldwin bumps into him.
Aldwin does a very light bump, but because
Yeah.
there's no audio, there's no noise at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
So
kind of like
all of
angry
you
looks.
all of you stop, and you see this person step out. And while the music from Alduin is protecting you from your noises, you can hear his just fine.
It probably would have to be in our heads then.
Why?
Well, depending, because we can't hear things outside or inside the bubble, and if anyone gets in the bubble, well, then they also get deafened. Or outside the bubble. This, of course, means we can't tell if anyone spotted us because we can't hear them. Our ears no work.
Yeah, your ears don't work. This particular individual smiles. Well, no, he doesn't smile because he's wearing all plate mail. All you see is his glowing green eyes. Everybody roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty. Oh dear. When you need to roll your con. Because I'm gonna consider this magic music spell practically a focus.
Yeah.
16
24
from
from
Drac.
Moogie.
Great.
Okay.
That's rolled a 9.
Oh God.
Wow, I've been doing great rolls lately now.
16 from Drac.
Okay, so Aya had a 9. Oh no, that's 11. Faison had a 15. Rex had a 14.
Alduin rolled an 11, and his brother Hearth rolled an 18.
Okay. Okay, so Meg, you had a 25?
No, I had a 24.
24. And Hearth had a 18?
Yes.
And everybody get lower than that, right?
Correct.
Alright. Everybody who is below 18
Alduin, no.
take let's see. here. That's 18. Oh, wait. That's 10. 22. Oh wow, that was even worse. And that's 16. 3. Everyone below an 18 takes 43 points of damage and is knocked prone.
43?
43.
Any chance of
Ouch.
radiant damage?
No, this is
That's
this
good
is
enough.
thunder damage and necrotic damage.
Ooh.
Well, because Oldwin failed, this means his focus has been broken. Because you
Mhm.
hear like a little stagger in the music and stops,
Mhm.
and you hear
Oh,
the
yeah.
sound quickly coming back.
Yeah, Moogie and Aya and Shazon and Rags take half that and is not knocked prone.
That's the biggest problem with all Oldwin's music-based magic is it's all focus.
Yeah, I know, it's all concentration. Which unfortunately that's So, yes. Soon as the music stops, you all now hear him. Excellent. You have arrived.
Yeah. That was rude. Oldwin says.
Me and my friends are going to come out and play with you. Oh, don't worry. We won't beat you too badly.
What if you didn't? Ow.
Rather than start a brand new combat, which will, which we won't be able to finish. That is where we're going to end today's episode.
Damn. Well, here we are.
Quite a cliffhanger.
Yes, what a cliffhanger.
Thank you,
Been
ladies and
foreboding,
gentlemen,
like always.
for joining us on Realms of Awakened Essence RPG, Season 8, Episode 14. Well, we were definitely in for a fight of our lives, and we're about to jump into another one. Great.
Yay, my favorite.
Yes.
So, thank you everyone for your amazing support during the opening of our show, and
Oh yes, thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
thank you. And we will be
Shall we go around the table and
yes, let's
let us start off with the wonderful Azamar that beat people to unconsciousness.
Meanwhile, on the control tower, you are cleared to depart. Did anyone find? And then you just hear another one. Did anyone find my missing tooth? I think your dentures are
It's over there
here.
in the corner. Yeah, it's
My
over there in
blood!
the corner.
He punched out all my blood!
Anyway, Moogie.
Hello, guys. I am Magnarim. I play the wonderful, crazy, psychotic Moogie, the Azamar, who just beat the poor snot out of some innocent individuals who didn't deserve it because he was angry. I want to thank you guys personally for the donations at the beginning of the stream and the hype train. You guys were awesome as always. And I am going to pass it off to the silly little dragonborn over the
Hello, I'm Oldwin, Hearth, and Dark Matter, also known as Gearbox. Hello. And I did a thing. Now let's pass it off to our small, well, but definitely not the least member of our team, Doctor. There he is. Hello to him.
I played Dr. Vess. Kobold Warlock / Medic, played by Chris, otherwise known as Pi3, and I will pass it to our Dwarven Captain.
Hello, my name is Dracathio Vergrath, aka RT Studios, PA Kenny USA. Of course, I play your Captain Dwarf. Definitely not a werewolf.
Definitely not.
Ignore the digigrid
Definitely not.
legs. Ignore them. They're just aesthetic.
They're static.
And without further ado, I'm going to be passing it up to whoever's running our story. Yes, that person up there.
That person in there, right to my right.
Somewhere.
Hello, I am your wonderful storyteller / GM, Trisha Welsh. I thank you greatly for all the stuff at the beginning of our stream. Thank you. I play Aya. I play Shazon. I play Rags. I've played the bad guys, and we're halfway through the finale.
Oh,
Only
we're
2 more
halfway
episodes
there.
left before the
Only
grand
2.
finale. Yes.
The next episode for Realms will be the penultimate.
Oof. I'm excited but nervous at the same time.
Oh, you should be, Alduin. You should be.
Ooh.
Acerak, I thought you were on.
You're supposed to be on
Just one
leave.
minute.
25.
Just one minute. You wait. I am not at. Acerak, I am not.
Acerak, I am not.
Thank you. I am a. Crap. I can't use that because that's copyrighted. Never mind.
Uh-oh, copyright. Get ready to die.
All right.
There,
Well,
it's
without
hyper
further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Realms of Awakened Essence, and we will see you for the
Next?
big battle next week.
Not
Not
next week.
next week. Not that's yours. The
said-
following
My
week.
one. That's my issues. That's my skill issue.
That is
Next
over
week will be
in.
yours.
Yes, that's over in Studio 2, I believe.
Oh, yes, that
Yes,
one.
yes, that one.
Oh, yeah, the writers are having hell over here. The single writer we have employed for that story.
Well,
I'm in absolute pain. Yep,
they
there he is.
keep rewriting Brunera.
Yeah, it's annoying, I know. I have to deal with it. I hope I get a bigger part later. You know, that story was way too early revealed. I'm fixing it, okay? I'm fixing my issues. So yeah.
That's something that happened after you left, Mag. You're gonna have to watch the VOD.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you next time on Realms of Awakened Essence. Until then, be empowered to play, and thank you for your support, and thank you, everyone, for being truly empowered, and empowering everyone here to have a great day. Bye, everyone.
See you next time.
Sun is coming up, are you ready to go? We can take a ride, we can take it slow. Yo, well, it's my law, I'ma let you be the boss, cause I'll go where you go. I'll take you to a place we can see it all. Step off the edge, I can break your fall. Yo, well, it's my law, I'ma let you be the boss, cause I'll go where you go. You back up again. The things you try are things that you won't regret. We are kings of the world, and night is a playground. We are kings of the world, and anywhere it's homebound. We are kings of the world.